Good afternoon. I hope everybody had a great trading day. My trading day worked out quite well. I had 3 good trades, all of them were green. I did have one little accidental trade, so that was a losing trade, but only a couple of dollars. So let's get into my trade review. The date is the 8th of June and it's currently 2:39 p.m. Eastern Time. So we'll start off with my first trade. This morning in my Discord channel I mentioned some levels I was watching. So we had, and on ES I was watching the 3305 rejection, so it's up here, this area here. Even I mentioned 4300, which I've been watching every single day. I didn't mention that in my Discord, but that's in my plan for the last few days as well. 4305, and at the opposite end I was watching 4264 for a bounce, and I said that was a higher risk area, with 4242 being a less riskier bounce. So there were the two main areas I was watching. And let's go, this is a 5-minute chart. So we've got the riskier bounce area because there was only one pivot point here, but I'm pretty sure, and that's, I formed this area, this bounce area, the green zone, based on that pivot, but I'm pretty sure if we could scroll out a bit, we'll probably find some other areas. There you go. So it's a previous area of indecision as well. So it's a pretty strong area, but because it was quite close to the market opening, that's why I said it was a riskier bounce. A higher probability play would have been one of the plays up here as well. So my first trade of the day, well, the mistake I made, start off with that one, I accidentally went long here and I didn't mean to, and I stopped out just for about a few dollars lost. But what I was really looking for was a short entry. And just open up the pen. So my first trade, I saw this pivot come up and it touched the area I was watching. I was watching this area of resistance, which was in the pre-market, and this area of support, which is the lines I've drawn in. These are the areas I'm watching. I was watching it range between these two areas. So my plan was, even though it wasn't my actual plan on my Discord, sometimes I take extra trades based on the 5-minute chart and how the market opens. So I was looking for lower in volume and for this area to hold. And as you can see, the first candle we had a higher volume candle, and then the second 5-minute candle was lower volume. So I took it around about here, I believe it was, and I ran it down into the VWAP. And because it was an area of support which I identified, it was touching an area of convolution, I only had one contract because it's higher risk. I didn't want to risk too much. My stop would have been just above here, which would have been that pivot, but I got out there for profitable trade, quite a good trade. I had two contracts. My next trade, I was watching this area for a bounce. I saw this tail come in, I saw this look like it's going lower, so I waited, and I had a limit order set exactly 4264.50, and that was exactly where I got in. I had another limit order set just there as well, and didn't touch that. So I had two contracts here, and I rode it up again. I got out on the VWAP because it's that area of support. I thought it might have been a break and retest, so I was all out here. And then my next trade, I was looking for another short, to be honest, there, and it broke through, and I was still looking for a short, and I saw this candle with the tail as well, but alarm bells started ringing, because every day I seem to think I should be short in a strong market, and I end up trying to catch falling knives. So normally in my old mindset I would try and take a short there. Sometimes I wouldn't even take profit, I just hold, thinking I want to go for the home run down here somewhere. And then I'd take another short there and another short there, and eventually I probably would have got it there, and I would have been quite a lot down or lots of stop outs, and this probably would have been a losing day. But today was different because I wanted to play it properly and be patient. So what I did is I saw this pivot and I waited for the pullback, and I knew this area was a level of resistance, and what used to be the resistance is now support, or what used to be the ceiling is now the floor. So I waited for this candle to complete, but I saw the tail come down to the 20 and I took the trade just about there. So it was right on this tail coming back up again. I was in full size as well. I had 4 contracts. I think I might have took 2 there, maybe 2 as it came out of that area. And I took profit there, which is that pivot, because I thought it might bounce. I took profit on the 50%, and I took profit was about there, I believe, because I thought it might have been a bit before there, about on that candle body, because I thought it might have been bouncing off of the 618 there, and you know the 618 is not a line, it's an area, hence why I get my starter positions. And then eventually I had 1 contract left. I was holding, waiting for this move up, but I panic sold when I saw this bar come in. There's a little tiny bit of extra volume as well on the 2-minute chart, and even though I was watching this 20, I wanted to let the candle fully form before getting out. I should have got out if the candle formed, but it didn't finish. It didn't complete its move, and the candle came down. I panicked and sold right on the bottom. I couldn't have got any lower. I literally got out there on my last runner, and then instantly the candle reversed, and as you can see, it went right up into, which should have been my target area, 4,300. But anyway, I was still profitable. I made a bit of profit. I could have doubled up on my runner, easily doubled up, and been a better day. And maybe I wouldn't have taken the next trade had I let that runner run, because it would have been a reversal area. And my last trade, I was watching the 4,300, and I have this zone which I've been, that zone's been drawn in now for some time. It's an area of supply. If you go back, let's go to the day. Here's this area of supply. So 618 area is a big area on the daily, so I've been watching it. It's been intercepting. It's been intercepting on. It's been support and resistance. It's now resistance, 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 and it's still resistance. So which is why, let's go back down to the 1 hour. Which is why I've been watching this. So it's a big zone. So I won't use that as my entire area for taking the trade, but I'll be looking for areas of resistance within that zone. So we've got my demand, my supply zone, and I'm looking for areas of resistance. One area is the 618 area, which is based on 618 were based on all-time highs and the most recent low going back to October 22. So it's a big area, a massive daily resistance area, so that's why I've been watching it, and that's why it's been not been able to break through it yet. So back in 1 hour. So my plan was to take a short on this pivot, which is also the same area from Monday and yesterday's high. So I wanted to get in on a starter position. So my start position was here on the entry of this zone. So I took one trade just there, 1 contract. I wanted to take another 2 contracts on that pivot there, and possibly another 1 or 2. I didn't have any order. I had a limit order in for 2 on this area, but I would have taken another contract around about here, the 618 area, and I would have waited for it to bounce. But I was only in with 1 contract here. Let's go back into the 5-minute. I mainly play the 5-minute chart, so let's close that. So my entry was just on the entrance of this zone, so I got in there, and I was waiting for for 4305 and 4300. These are my areas I was looking to add to my position. So I had one contract there, and it pulled right back, and I knew that's a 618 zone, and it's an area of supply, an area of support. So I got out at the bottom of this candle just there. I only had, maybe in the future, if I've got more contracts in my starter position, once I get more confident and I want to trade bigger sizes, then I would have had 2 or 4 contracts, and I could have held a runner. I could have got out on this 50. But overall, I'm pleased with how I traded today. Every trade, apart from the little mistake I made, was a winning trade, and bodes well nicely for tomorrow. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'll be interested to see what happens next. Maybe market's setting in a bit of a double top, but we'll see. Okay, thank you for watching, and hope you had a great day trading as well. Okay, take care.